Some people believe they made other major discoveries there decades ago, discoveries they chose to keep secret.
The Lunar Orbiter 2, NASA's probe, photographs this area on the moon, and what's so bizarre is that this area has undeniable architecture.
Astronauts of the Apollo mission could gain more information about these artificial structures on the moon.
Without the seasons, it could be very difficult for life on Earth. So the moon is actually performing an incredible function. Without it, we might not be here.
A massive object just emerged from a crater on the moon, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen before. The world is buzzing with questions, and scientists are scrambling to understand how something so strange ended up there. Could this be a sign of something hidden beneath the moon's surface that we've never discovered? Let us expose the shocking reason NASA could be forced to blow up the moon to protect humanity, hidden on the moon. This discovery has taken the world by surprise. Think about it, the moon has been checked out for many years. It's been visited by astronauts and watched over by various spacecraft. So the big question everyone's asking is, how did such a massive thing stay unnoticed until now? The fact that something this big was found on the moon opens a new chapter in our quest to figure out the many questions of our solar system. Let's get ready to uncover some truths. It's clear that what was found on the moon is way more surprising than we could have thought. And this is just the start of what's going to shock everyone. This whole story about the strange lunar object started with some amateur astronomers. They were looking at the moon through their high-powered telescopes and saw something that didn't look right. At first, people thought maybe it was just a shadow, a simple crater, or an optical illusion caused by the way light and dark play on the lunar surface. But after a closer look, it was clear this wasn't just another moon feature. This object was real, big, and unlike anything that had been seen on the moon before. In today's world, where you can pull up satellite images from space with a click, it's really confusing that something so big could have been missed for so long. As news of this discovery got around, initial curiosity turned into disbelief. How could we have missed it? Some folks wondered if it was just a trick of the light or shadows from the moon's craters. Others thought maybe it had been seen before, but no one realized what it was. However, as more astronomers started studying this object, skepticism turned into interest. Pictures taken from different angles and with various light waves showed that this was indeed a real solid structure. Its huge size, sharp edges, and distinct shape made it clear this wasn't just a regular moon rock or crater. This sparked a global fascination, and the hunt for answers began in earnest. As soon as this discovery hit the mainstream, the internet was flooded with theories. The object's large size and appearance that seemed crafted by intelligent hands led many to think it might be something made by beings from another planet. This idea took off, especially among those who've always believed in aliens. The thought that an ancient, advanced group might have left something on the moon was thrilling. Could this object be the proof that we're not alone in the universe? Those who believed in the alien theory pointed out the object's straight lines and rectangular shape. These features seemed too perfect and orderly to have been made by natural moon processes, they argued. Conspiracy theorists have long speculated about alien bases hidden on the dark side of the moon, away from our telescopes. For these folks, finding this object was a dream come true. It was the proof they had been waiting for. But not everyone was convinced about the alien theory. Many experts suggested more down-to-earth explanations. They thought the object could be the result of natural events like volcanic activity or a big meteorite crash. The moon has a complicated history, filled with craters, mountains, and odd rock shapes. Some scientists thought this object might just be another one of these natural moon wonders, though a particularly big and strange one. Even with the object's precise and unnatural-looking lines, some argued that nature could still be responsible. On Earth, there are places like the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland and the Devil's Tower in Wyoming. These spots are known for their unusual and geometric shapes, which sometimes make people think they were man-made. Maybe something similar was happening on the moon? Let's dig a little deeper into how this object could have stayed hidden. The moon, despite being so close to Earth and well-studied, still holds many surprises. Its surface is covered in dust that can shift and change, hiding features from view. Plus, the angles of sunlight can create shadows that make it hard to see everything clearly. When astronomers use their telescopes, they rely on the light from the sun to illuminate the moon's surface. If an object lies in a permanently shadowed area, or the angle of light isn't just right, it can easily go unnoticed. This might explain why this object remained undiscovered for so long. As we learn more about this discovery, it seems like this could be the beginning of something much bigger than we first thought. Why this shape has us questioning. Now think about the impact of this discovery. If it turns out to be something mundane like a big rock, it's still a remarkable find because of its size and the fact that it remained hidden. But if it turns out to be something more, like evidence of past volcanic activity or even a sign of extraterrestrial life, it could change our understanding of the moon forever. This find could also reignite interest in lunar exploration. Space agencies around the world might see this as a call to launch more missions to the moon, to explore it more closely, and maybe even to set up permanent bases there. Who knows what other things we might uncover if we start looking closer and more often? Whether it's a natural phenomenon or something more, this lunar object reminds us of the endless wonders of space. It shows us that there's still so much to learn about our nearest neighbor in space. It makes you wonder, what else is out there waiting to be discovered? The size and shape of this object are the main reasons it's causing so much talk. It's several miles long and stands high above the moon's surface, much bigger than anything humans have ever sent there. In fact, it's so big that if it were on Earth, you could see it from space. The object has a clear, stretched out, almost rectangular shape, which really stands out compared to the usual round craters and rugged mountains on the moon. Its sharp, straight lines make people wonder about its origins. Usually, natural objects are more uneven and bumpy because random natural forces shape them over time. But this object has smooth surfaces and perfect right angles, which you don't usually see in nature. Its almost too perfect shape has made some people think it might be something made, not just a natural thing. What makes this object different from other moon features is important. The moon's surface is full of interesting shapes from meteor hits, volcanic activity, and the movement of moon dust over thousands of years. Yet nothing looks quite like this object. Its out-of-place appearance has led some to think it might not naturally belong on the moon. It might be something humans left behind, something from an old alien group, or something else entirely. But we don't know yet. When news of this odd object got around, scientists all over the world started to pay attention. Experts on the moon, rocks, and stars all turned their focus to this, wanting to look at the pictures and data that had been collected. Big space groups like NASA and the European Space Agency, ESA, started to look at the object using all the information from space missions that have orbited the moon, sent satellites, and even manned missions. At first, the science folks were careful with this discovery. Many didn't want to make quick guesses without looking more into it. Just because the object was there didn't mean it came from aliens or was made by humans. Scientists said it was important to collect more info before saying for sure what the object is. They needed to study the moon's surface around it, find out what the object is made of, and take more pictures to really get what this huge thing might be. Even so, the excitement among scientists was clear. This object raised a big question that could mean a lot, and finding the answer would need help from many types of science. Whether the object turned out to be just another moon rock or something more amazing, just having such a strange thing on the moon was exciting. It reminded everyone how much we still have to learn about the moon and space. Without today's technology, finding this big object on the moon might never have happened. Powerful telescopes, which were among the first tools used to spot the object, can take super detailed pictures of the moon. These telescopes, used by both hobby astronomers at home and pros in big observatories, show things way better than what we can see with just our eyes. A lot of what we know about the object also came from satellites that go around the moon, like NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO. These satellites keep taking high-quality pictures of the moon, letting scientists zoom in on special spots and look at them very closely. With this tech, researchers could check out the object from different angles, seeing its shadows, shape, and size more clearly. With each new detail, it feels like we've only just begun to understand what this find could mean for exploring the moon and beyond. The moon object we never saw. Being able to get such good pictures and study the moon from here on Earth is a huge step forward in exploring space. Long ago, we might have needed to send people to the moon just to check out something like this. But now we can find out a lot from right here. This tech lets scientists look at and learn about the moon in ways we couldn't when astronauts first walked on it in the 1960s and 1970s. Just when we thought we might start to understand more about the object, new questions popped up about why we didn't see it sooner, which keeps adding to our search for answers. As the excitement around this lunar object grew, more telescopes and satellites started pointing their way towards the moon. This big, strange object has become a kind of question that everyone wants to solve. What's cool is that it shows just how much more there is to explore right next door in our solar system. Every new discovery, like this one, could open doors to new knowledge and possibly even new technology. The more we look, the more we might find, which is thrilling for everyone. From the most seasoned astronomers to kids looking up at the moon with their first telescope. This object, whatever it turns out to be, is a reminder of the endless possibilities of space exploration. Each piece of new data brings us closer to understanding not just the moon, but potentially other planets and even the entire universe. This is what keeps scientists, astronomers, and space enthusiasts so hooked on exploring and studying space. Every new finding like this could tell us more about where we come from, what else is out there, and even where we could go in the future. So the investigation into this large moon object is more than just a scientific task. It's a glimpse into the limitless questions and wonders that space holds, waiting for us to uncover them. The discovery of a huge object on the moon has really shown us how far we've come in our ability to explore space. This find is a big deal because it highlights the capabilities of our modern technology and hints at what we might uncover in the future. As our tools for exploring space get better and better, we're going to be able to answer more questions about the universe from right here on Earth. One big question that comes up with this discovery is why we didn't notice this large object on the moon sooner. The moon has been a major focus for space explorers for many years, and scientists have thoroughly mapped its surface. So it's really surprising that something so big and visible could have been missed. There are several reasons why this object might have stayed hidden. Even though we've studied the moon a lot, it's a huge place and we haven't been able to cover every inch with the same level of detail. The object could have been in a part of the moon that we hadn't looked at very closely before. Also, the way sunlight hits the moon's surface can make a big difference in what we can see. Depending on the time of day and the shadows, certain features can be hidden or highlighted. It's possible that this object was hidden by shadows in earlier studies, blending in so well with its surroundings that it just wasn't noticed. Or maybe the technology used in earlier missions wasn't good enough to spot such an object in detail. The tools and cameras from earlier missions like the Apollo ones were top-notch back then, but don't really measure up to the high-tech equipment we use today. This new find reminds us that despite all our progress in space technology and exploration, there's still a lot we don't know about the moon. The moon's surface is huge, and there could be many more things out there waiting to be discovered. The moon has always been a source of fascination for humans. For hundreds of years, it has been a part of our stories and legends, depicted as a strange and powerful figure in many cultures. It influences the tides, lights up the night sky, and has always sparked our imagination. From gods and goddesses to monsters and magical beings, the moon has been a key character in myths from around the world. As we dig deeper, it's clear this object might not only change what we know about the moon, but also bring up old ideas about space. A new clue on the moon. In more modern times, the moon became the target of scientific research and exploration. When Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon in 1969, it marked a new chapter in our quest to understand our closest space neighbor. Since that momentous event, the moon has been at the heart of many space missions, both manned and unmanned. We've sent probes, orbiters, and rovers to study its surface, but it continues to surprise us with new findings. The discovery of this large object brings back that old feeling of wonder and amazement about the moon. The idea that there are still new and unexpected things on the moon feeds our curiosity and drives us to keep exploring the unknown. Whether this object turns out to be just a natural formation or something else, it underscores the vast amount we still have to learn about the universe. The news of this object didn't just catch the attention of scientists, it also reignited the public's interest in the possibility of extraterrestrial life. For decades, people have been fascinated by the idea of UFOs, alien civilizations, and hidden bases on the moon. This object, with its large size and unusual shape, fits perfectly into those long-held theories. UFO enthusiasts have linked this discovery to old reports of strange sightings on the moon, suggesting it might be proof of alien activities. They argue that if extraterrestrial beings have managed to reach Earth, it's not too far-fetched to believe they could have left something on the moon. This find has also revived some older conspiracy theories about hidden alien bases on the moon's far side, hidden until now because of the way the moon rotates. While mainstream scientists are careful with their interpretations, the connection to UFO stories adds an extra layer of excitement to the discovery. Whether or not this object has anything to do with aliens, it has certainly sparked a lot of imaginations and discussions about whether we are truly alone in the universe. While some people are busy theorizing about aliens, scientists are more focused on figuring out if this object is just a part of the natural landscape or something more intriguing. However, even with their careful studies, they haven't been able to fully explain what this object is yet. As we continue to study this object and learn more about it, we'll hopefully get closer to understanding whether it's a simple natural feature or something that could redefine what we know about the moon and possibly the universe. This ongoing investigation into the large object on the moon is just another example of how each new discovery in space can open up more questions than it answers. It's these questions that keep the field of space exploration so exciting and dynamic, constantly pushing the boundaries of what we know and where we can go next. The recent discovery of a strange object on the moon has set off a lot of wild guesses about aliens and ancient civilizations. However, many experts are sticking to more practical explanations. They believe the simplest solution is usually the best one. The object might be a natural shape, created by natural processes that happened billions of years ago when the moon was still geologically active. Some experts think that this object might be what's left from a lava tube that has collapsed. These tubes are found on both the moon and Earth. They form when hot lava flows underneath the surface, creating hollow channels. Over time, parts of these channels can fall in, leaving behind odd, long shapes that might look like the object spotted on the moon. Another idea is that the object is from a meteorite crash. The moon's surface is covered in craters from such hits, and the shape of what's left behind can vary based on how the meteorite struck, including its angle and speed. The sharp angles and boxy shape of this object might simply be the result of a crash, not a sign of anything from outer space. Even if this object turns out to be just a natural rock, it's still an exciting discovery. It could give us new information about the moon's geological past, helping us understand the natural events that shaped its surface billions of years ago. Even without any alien link, this object might reveal new facts about the moon and the natural forces that have influenced our solar system. Now, as we keep looking into this discovery, it seems like it could have a huge impact on future space missions. A discovery that changes everything. The find of this large, unusual object comes at a time when interest in the moon is picking up again. After years of focusing on other planets, space agencies around the world are turning their attention back to the moon. For example, NASA's Artemis program is planning to send humans back to the moon by the mid-2020s, aiming to keep people there in a more lasting way. This odd object might become a major focus for future missions to the moon. Whether it's just a regular rock or something more unusual, scientists will want to examine it closely to figure out its origins and what it's made of. Future plans could include sending robots or even astronauts to the site to collect samples and study them in detail. Besides NASA, private companies like SpaceX are also planning trips to the moon. These missions could offer new chances to study this object and discover what it's really all about. As our technology gets better, we might soon explore this object in ways we never thought possible before. The recent discovery of an object on the moon really highlights why it's so crucial for us to keep pushing forward with lunar exploration. Despite all the knowledge we've gathered about our closest celestial companion, there's still a great deal that remains hidden from us. The moon keeps drawing us in with its questions and feeding our natural curiosity, encouraging us to dig deeper and learn more about not just it, but the universe as a whole. This find in particular sparks a renewed sense of curiosity about what lies beyond our planet. Even with today's high-tech gadgets and deep space missions, it seems the universe is always ready to surprise us. Every time we uncover something new, whether it's tiny or massive, it challenges our existing beliefs and drives us to keep looking for more answers. It's a reminder of how little we really know and how much is still out there waiting to be discovered. A lot of people are fascinated by space precisely because it's the final frontier, full of uncharted territories and unanswered questions. Whether the newfound object on the moon is simply a natural rock formation or something that hints at life beyond our Earth, it fuels our desire for discovery and the thrill of venturing into the unknown. This object might keep scientists and astronomers guessing for many years to come. Whatever it ends up being identified as, it has already achieved something significant, reigniting our collective imagination about what lies in the vast expanse of space. It prompts us to think about the incredible possibilities that lie beyond our world. The quest for more knowledge is far from over, and the path ahead in space exploration is still filled with much to be explored and understood. Is this sizable object on the moon just a piece of the lunar landscape? Or could it be a clue pointing us towards something far more astonishing, perhaps even connected to life forms from other parts of the cosmos? Some people believe that we are on the verge of a major discovery that could change everything, while others think it might just be a random find with no deeper significance. The importance of this discovery extends beyond the immediate thrill. It serves as a powerful reminder that space exploration is not just about reaching new places, but about continually challenging our understanding of the universe. Each new finding gives us fresh insights into how planets and moons form and evolve, and sometimes they even provide new perspectives on where life could exist. As we prepare for future missions to the moon, perhaps with the aim of setting up a more permanent presence there, this object could become a focal point of study. Scientists and researchers will want to probe its origins, analyze its composition, and understand its place in the lunar geography. Such studies could open doors to new scientific breakthroughs and deepen our understanding of space science. Moreover, this discovery could spark renewed interest in the moon from both public and private sectors. With agencies like NASA planning to return humans to the moon and private companies eyeing lunar missions, the excitement around lunar exploration is ramping up. Each mission brings the potential to uncover more about our moon and, by extension, about the fundamental processes that govern our solar system. This ongoing intrigue with the moon and space in general shows just how passionate we are as a species about reaching out into the unknown, learning more, and perhaps finding others out there. Whether this object is a mundane rock or an indicator of something more, it underscores the endless possibilities of space and keeps our eyes fixed on the stars, always wondering what's next. Is this strange object on the moon just a natural occurrence? Or could it be proof of something far more extraordinary, maybe even alien technology hidden for centuries? What are they not telling us? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.